Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and we're going to jump back into our Aventuria playthrough. Now, there was one thing that I missed, and that was this seasick card for Lariel. She actually succeeded at 2 skill rolls, so she should have removed 2 of those tokens. So we only have 1 more on here, and then she is no longer seasick, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. Also, I was using the wrong token and the wrong player board for Tielva, so I have fixed that, and going forward, it'll look like I'm playing the right players. Sorry about that. All right, let's get going. What we need to do now is gather the Timescale card, the Captain Battering Ramses card, and the Environment Armory card, and Orc Prison card. We're going to use the normal side of the time scale. We have 7 time, so I'll place these 7 tokens. They're our time tokens, and we'll keep track of the rounds. Each round, we'll take one of these off. When we get to the specific amount of time that's left, so either 5, 4, 3, or 0, these effects will take place. If we get to 0, and we are not done with the fight, we continue going. We just activate this effect every round, so our heroes will start losing tons of health. Also, specific to this combat only, since we're having this in the armory, we do get an effect. It's actually a nice effect. Plain weapons and armor cards cost 1 less than written on the card. This cannot reduce the cost to 0. In all the fights that I have done, you've always had a leader, and here is our leader, Captain Battering Ramses. So his health is going to be 8 times the number of players. You'll also see he has a dodge amount here. So he's one of the characters that will actually be able to dodge when we attack them. We all have dodges as well, but what he'll have to do is he'll roll a die and he'll try and get 5 or under. He also has armor, so when we hit him for damage, we'll always subtract out the amount of armor that we have here. And lastly, this tells us how many actions he gets around. So since there are 3 heroes, he'll get 3 actions around. He'll roll a d20. Depending upon what he gets on that d20, he'll activate one of these 3 effects. This Orc Prison here, we'll just place it to the side and it'll come into play during the combat. The scenario book also lets us know which types of henchmen to use. Henchman cards using the both keywords undead and pirate. And we have to include keywords amphibian, plus all henchman cards named Little Pest. So I have that right here. I'm going to shuffle this up so it's ready to go. We then need to know what our threat value is going to be. It's going to be the number of heroes times 5, so that is 15. So what we're going to do is shuffle up that henchman deck and then keep drawing enemies until the threat is equal to or greater than the amount of 15. In order for us to be victorious, we need to either defeat or put to flight all the opponents. If we have 3 heroes go disabled, we lose or we're defeated. And there is a reward if we are victorious. Reward cards equal to the number of heroes. Cool. There's one thing I forgot. I forgot about the all event cards with the keywords general or ship. So I have those right here. I'll shuffle those up and then we'll draw those due to that timesheet as well. Let's draw our henchmen. So we'll draw the top card and we have Slash. So Slash has 18 health, 1 armor, and 1 action around. He also constitutes 5 threats. So we went from 15 down to 10. We'll reveal the next one. We have Jaggy Nose. Oh, that's awesome. Also 18 has 5 as his threat. So we only have 5 more threat. Let's see. Oh, a Rope End Bruno. That is 6 threat, 20 health, but that means we have all of the enemies that we're going to have to fight. The total threat is 16, which is over the 15 amount that we needed. Here we have our 4 enemies, the boss, and our 3 that we just drew out. All of their health is on there, and our goal is to take them out. Let's do it. First thing we need to do is determine who's going to be first player. So I'm just going to mess all of these up, and it's going to be Lariel. What we're going to do now for each hero, starting with Lariel, is we're going to draw the top 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give a look at them, and then we can discard any of them that we want and draw back up to 5, and then those cards we discarded will go back into our deck, and then we're set for our beginning hand. Just so you guys understand how these cards work, the cost up here, this number, tells us how much endurance it costs to put these cards out. Why that's important is because what we're going to be doing each round is taking some of the cards in our hand and turning them into endurance instead of the actual card usage. So what you want in your hand is a nice range of cards that you really like and cards you're okay not using, because instead you'll use it for endurance. I think I'm going to discard these 3 cards for Lariel and draw 3 new ones. So we now have Heavy Fall, and we have a Weapon Poison, cool, and Acrobatics. Nice. So these 3 will go to our hand. This is Miribon's hand, and I'm going to be honest, I think I'm going to keep it the way it is. I kind of like what I'm seeing. I've got some that I can get rid of and some that I can play. So yeah, I'm going to keep these 5. This is Tielva's hand, and I think what I'm going to do is give back or discard this one and this one. So then we're going to draw 2 new ones. Oh, nice. And this one. Perfect. So how I read this card is I get to keep in my hand up to 2 cards that give me melee or range attack. I only have 2 cards in my hand that give me melee or ranged attack. These 2. So I'm going to keep them and then say I discarded all the rest. So I believe I just broke that curse. Now, I could be wrong. Let me know. I am making it a little bit easier if I'm doing that wrong, but whatever. The advantage for us now is in our range attack or melee attack and range attack, we can decide which one of the numbers to use. So we can, going forward, use the 12 number when we're rolling for even melee attacks or range attacks. Now we're ready to begin combat. So what happens first is we each get to simultaneously draw 2 cards and put them into our hand. So here are Lariel's 2 new cards. These 2 will go to her hand, so her hand is 7. Here are the 2 for Maribon, so these 2 will go into her hand. And for Tielva, these 2 will go into her hand. Now, if you were playing this cooperatively, you'd all do these first couple actions simultaneous, because the next phase is going to be determining how many cards you want to play as endurance. I can play between 0 and 2 cards as endurance, and that's really important because all the cards that you're going to be activating uses endurance. So right now, Lariel is going to use these 2 cards as endurance. How that will work is she'll place them face down underneath her character card, and then whenever she does an action that uses endurance, she'll just tap them to the side to say that they're used, and they'll stay out for the rest of this combat. But now I don't get the benefit of these cards. Maribon is going to take these 2 cards and turn them into endurance. So we'll flip both of these face down. And then finally for Tielva, she is going to convert these 2 into her endurance. Now we're going to move to the action phase. In the action phase, each hero will go individually and then all of the enemies will go. So Lariel is first since she is first player. And what she's going to do is exhaust both of her endurance so she can put out her dirk weapon. This is a sword. It'll allow her next time, you can see this icon here, you can tap this and use 1 endurance to attack with it. But since she's used all of her endurance just to place this out, there's nothing else she can do this round. So she'll end her turn. All of Maribon's cards in her hand are too expensive. So instead of placing anything out on the board, she's going to do a single attack. She will have to use 1 card and exhaust it. And you can see that because there's a 1 right here that lets you know how much you have to pay to do this attack. And then technically we would turn this card or tap it sideways just to let us know, okay, she already used it, but I want you to be able to read it. We're going to do a magic attack of 1, and if we do hit, we get to roll 1d6 for damage. So what we need to do now is roll our d20 and try and get 14 and under. But before that, we need to pick which enemy we're going to attack. I think we're going to go for Jaggy Nose. Now, he has no dodge, so we won't have to worry if we hit him, we do automatic damage. We're trying to roll a 14 or under. And we rolled a 7, so we have now hit. Now we have to roll a d6 to determine how much damage we're doing. So I'll just roll that. And we're doing 1 entire damage, which, by the way, is blocked by its armor, so we did nothing. Oh, that's okay. After that failed attack, Tielva is going to also try and do one. See if we're a little bit better. So we're going to use her basic attack, do 1 exhaust, and we are trying to roll a 13 or lower. If we do, we'll roll a d10 to see what we're getting. And we're going to go for the same guy, that Jaggy Nose. Come on, 13 or lower. And that's an 8, so that is definitely a hit. And let's see how much we do. We roll 1 d10, And we do 3 points of damage, -1 for armor. So we did 2 awesome points of damage. He's from 18 health down to 16. So now that that fun part is done, we get to do the not so fun part. We're going to activate all the enemies, starting with the captain. The captain gets 3 actions, so we have to roll a d10 or d20 3 times. Let's give the first one a roll, and we have a 3. That's usually not good. A 3 is an attack on a random hero that suffers 1d6 plus 3 damage. So we take these, shuffle them up, and we say, okay, who's going to get it? Oh no, it's Maribon. Maribon's dodge is 5. So we'll roll her d20 to see. That's a 15, so it's a fail. If we had gotten a 5 or under, we would reduce the damage that she takes by half, rounded up. So that would have been really nice, but not going to happen. So now we roll a d6 and we add 3 to it for damage. That's a 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. She was at 39 before, so now she's at 34. We'll roll that d20 again for the second action. Number 13. A hero chosen by the players suffers 1d6 plus 1. So we're definitely going to do Tielva because she has the highest defense or dodge. So her dodge is 7. Oh, it's an 18. It was almost a 4, so that didn't work. And we'll roll for damage. That is a 6. That's that 6 icon. So she just took 7 points of damage. She goes from 40 to 33. Ow. We're going to do this one more time. You can see at the beginning, it's painful. Oh, it's a 19. Awesome. Nothing. Shouts a pirate curse. Yarr! Now we have Slash. Slash has 1 action, so we just roll 1 die. Rolled a 20. That's an absolute fail. Festers. This henchman loses 5 health. That's amazing. Who would have thought that my high rolling would actually help me? So I will remove this 5 from his pile of health. Wow, that was amazing. Here's Jaggy Nose. And he gets a 3. That doesn't sound good. Attack. A random hero suffers 1d6 plus 2. So we grab our tokens here. Give them a shuffle. And let's pick this one. Oh, are you serious? Maribon is the one again. So her dodge is 5. So we'll roll her die if I can find it. Here we go. Dodge of 5. 5 or less. Now that's an 8. So that means we roll a d6, add 2 to whatever this is. That's 5 points of damage. She is down to 29 health. Oh my goodness. Lastly, now we have our Rope End Bruno. And we rolled a 3. A random hero suffers 1d6 plus 3. Ugh. Okay, shuffle these up. Come on, don't be Maribon again. Are you serious? Oh, man, come on. Okay, 5 or less. No, that's a d20. That's a critical fail. So she's going to take whatever damage this is plus 3. That's 6 points of damage. She's down to 23 health. My goodness. Okay, you guys, I already made a mistake. When I played a card for Lariel, I played this Dirk. This Dirk cost 2, so I paid 2. But I forgot, with this Armory card, the cost of Endurance is -1. So I could have still had Lariel attack. So I think I'm going to do that now. It shouldn't really affect anything. She's not going to be able to kill anyone. It'll just help us out a little bit because, boy, we're going to need it. That was a lot of damage that was given. So we're going to use, because of her awesome pirate loot, we're going to use 12 as the number that we have to roll to be able to succeed and hit with this. And if we do hit, it's 1d6 plus 2, and we're going to keep going for Jaggy Nose. 12 or lower, please. And that's a 16. So it didn't even matter. We failed. That will end round 1 of combat. So we will take one of these off. Yeah, we didn't do very well, but that's generally what's going to happen at the beginning because we don't have a ton of endurance. Each round, though, we're going to be able to put 2 more cards there. We're going to be able to do more things. The only thing you need to know is that you can never attack twice with the same type of weapon. So we're going to try and get everybody to have at least 2 different types of weapons. So one that's maybe range, one that's melee, one that's magic, one that's melee, stuff like that. So, but right now, mostly what we were doing was just getting ready to be able to start doing some damage. One other thing I wanted to mention, when you fail at hitting, so just like what Lariel did, you gain one of these fate points. you can, or fate tokens, you can now use this to re-roll going forward. But if you use one of those after you fail to re-roll and you succeed, you don't gain another one. So yeah, you have to have your end result being that you failed. So now we're going to go to round 2. Everyone is going to draw 2 cards. Lariel's drawing these 2, Maribon is drawing these 2, and Tayelva is drawing these 2. Now you see how some of these have a red background and some of them are black? The red background cards are a one-time effect. You're going to play them, they go to the discard pile. These ones that have a black background will stay out until you either use them or they might say, discard it to do this effect. Okay, so I just wanted you to see that there's that difference. We're now going to have each hero give up 2 cards to become endurance. So these 2 for Lariel, these 2 for Maribon, and these 2 for Tayelva. Lariel is going to use all of her endurance. It's going to cost all 4 because this normally costs 5, but she's going to spend all 4 to be able to put out her elf bow. But next round, look at that, 1d6 plus 5. Oh, that's going to be powerful. Maribon is going to use 3 out of her 4 endurance to be able to place out the magical lore book. Now what this is going to do is it's going to add 3 to her magical stat. So we now place this behind her hero sheet, or hero card, and her magic is 17. So we just have to roll a 17 or less to hit. And we have 1 more endurance, so we're going to use that to attack that blasted jaggy nose. We're looking for 17 or less. Wow, that's a 17. That is a hit. Just barely, but it's a hit. Okay, come on, high numbers. That's a 5. So we do 4 points of damage to Jaggy Nose. Jaggy Nose only has 12 health left. Tayelva is going to use 3 out of her 4 endurance points so that she can put out her cast net. Now, this is an equipment. It's not a weapon or armor, so that's why she's still to pay full cost. We're then going to spend her last endurance to attack Jaggy Nose. We're looking for a 13 or lower. And we got a 2. Oh, 1 away from a critical success. Not that I think that matters too much, but still. So we'll remove this, and we do 1d6 of damage. That's a 4. So he takes 3 damage because he's got 1 armor. He is down to 9 health. We've all gone. Now let's go to the captain. He rolls a 6. A random hero suffers 1d6 plus 3. Okay, I better not pick Maribon, because come on. She is just getting annihilated. Let's do this one. Really? Okay, I mean, it's almost like I'm trying, right? So first, let's see if she defends. Hey, it's a 4! Okay, the amount of damage she takes is reduced by half. So now we'll roll a d6. 3 plus 3 is 6, divided by 2 is 3, so she is down to 20 health. I think I'm going to have someone heal her. Let's do action 2. Come on, high numbers. A 12. Same thing, random hero. It's better not be Maribon. Come on. Let's do this one. Oh, finally, it's Tayelva. Tayelva has the best dodge, so she's trying to roll a 7 or less. Come on. That's a 14. That's totally a fail. Okay, so then we're going to do damage. That's a 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 27 health. Man. Okay, third one. That is a 2. That looks really bad. The starting hero suffers 1d6 plus 5 and must return a random one of her endurance cards back into her hand. And you know what? I totally forgot to move who the first player was. Man, all these little things that you got to remember. So, you know who first player should be? You got it. Maribon. Oh my goodness, that sucks. So she's going to take one of her endurance cards and put it back into her hand. So I think she's going to grab this one, put it back in her hand, and then she suffers 1d6 plus 5 unless she can defend. We need a 5 or less. Come on, just a 5 or less. Nope, that's a 20. That's a critical fail. Okay, we need this D6 to be really low. No, that's 5. That's 10 points of damage. She goes from 20 health down to 10 health. Wow. Next, we're going to move to Slash. We get a 17. All he's going to do at a 17 is nothing. He shouts a pirate curse. Yarr! Jaggy Nose rolls a 16, At a 16, he does nothing. He shouts a pirate curse. Yarr! And Rope and Bruno rolls a 14. He does not. He shouts a pirate curse. Yarr! Well, hey, okay. This is where a high dice rolling is nice. That was 3 high numbers. None of the other henchmen did anything. Whew! When we finish the second round, we're going to remove the time token, and now we're going to trigger draw 1 event card because there are 5 time left. So let's grab an event card. During your search for more pirate treasure, you fill it around with the silver carafe that was earlier used by a demon to prepare a camel dung tea, and now you start to feel the consequences. At the moment, it's just an unpleasant itch. The hero with the most pirate treasure, yeah, that's Lariel, must shuffle a demon's pustules into her action card draw pile. If 2 or more heroes are tied, no, we definitely know who that is. So I have to shuffle one of these cards in. That gives us all -2s. Place this card as a permanent negative card next to your hero. Oh, gross. We've ended round 2. We're going to move on to round 3. Something that I didn't tell you guys the last time that I should tell you now is what you'll do is all of your endurance cards that you've exhausted, you'll unexhaust them. And if we've used any weapons, which we haven't, but if we had this round, we would unexhaust those as well. Starting round 3, the first thing that's going to happen is the first player hero is now Tielva. Now, these are the cards that each hero is drawing, Lariel's, Maribon's, and Tielva's. I'm still having every hero placing out endurance and 2 each round, but I think after this, like Lariel probably won't need more than 6, but yeah, I think having 6 is about the right amount. For Tielva, we're going to spend 5 of her 6 endurance to place out the Warhammer. This is going to be fun. Look at this, 2d6 plus 3. The only disadvantage is her attack stat for melee attack is -2 when using it. But that's okay. I've got a card eventually that will be able to increase that for her, but I didn't have enough endurance for this round. Now, the last amount of our endurance that we have, our 1 left, we're going to attack with this thing. You know who we're going for, Jaggy Nose. That is an 8. That is definitely a hit. So we'll roll 2d6s and add +3 to it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. He has 9 health left. She just one-shotted Jaggy Nose. Jaggy Nose, all gone. That was pretty awesome, I have to say. Way to go, Tielva. Man, I really like her. So for Lariel, Lariel has 6 endurance that she can use. This costs 0 to put out. What she can do is spend 1, so she'll spend 1 endurance to heal 1 hero. Well, you can imagine who that's going to be. It's going to be Maribon. Maribon is now at 12. Okay, thank you very much. Then what we're going to do is we're going to play and use 1 endurance. So this is endurance number 2 for the weapon poison. Use on a hero's weapon to add 1 extra point of damage. Yeah, we're going to be putting that on the Warhammer because that will be awesome. So our Warhammer will do 1 additional point of damage, and that's for the rest of the combat. Then we're going to spend 3 more endurance to place out our anatomy card, and it adds 3 to our range attack. And remember, we can use our range attack for both melee and ranged weapons due to that pirate loot. So then our final endurance card, number 6, we're going to attack with our bow, 1d6 plus 5, and we have to get a 15 or less to hit. This time we're going to go for Slash, and Slash has no dodge, 1 armor. 15 or less. We got a 14. Oh. All right, so we're doing an automatic 5 damage plus whatever we roll with this die of a d6. Whoa, that's 10 points of damage. So he takes a total of 9 damage. He's now down to half health. And you know what, you guys? I totally forgot. He suffered damage on his own, so he actually only has 3 health left. We can maybe have Maribon take him out. 2 henchmen out in 1 round is awesome. Remember, Maribon had lost 1 endurance, so she only has a total of 5. So she's going to use 4 of them to do this disintegritus. Okay, so she's using 4 out of the 5. And because we're doing an adventure, we read the adventure part of the card, not up here. This is used when you're going PvP. This is for the adventure mode. Subtract 2 from the damage of all attacks by an opponent of your choice. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the captain. What do you guys think? And that's going to happen till the end of the combat. Now, you can only do this once for each of the different enemies that you're placing, so we can't put a bunch of those on the captain. But hey, one of those, I'm happy. For our last endurance, we're going to use our regular magic attack. As long as we get a 17 or less and do some damage, we can maybe take out Slash. 17 or less, right here. That's an 11. That works. Okay, what we need is 4 points. So we need a 4 through a 6 here to take them out. And that's a 1. That doesn't do anything. Ugh. Well, I would like to apologize to everybody. We were supposed to be Seasick, Maribon, and Lariel, and guess who totally forgot? Me. Did not take that into account. Totally forgot to. But if we did on this last test, we would have been fine. So I'm going to take one of these 3 off for her. But going forward, I'm going to remember. Sorry about that. Golly. Just, this is where, if you're playing solo, you probably only want to play with 2. But I'm just having so much fun doing the 3 so you can see all the 3 different heroes. I like playing with 3, at least on camera. Now we're going to have our dreaded captain go 3 times. Just remember, his attacks are -2. We have an 18. 18, nothing. It shouts a pirate curse. Sweet. Come on, another high one. 7. Attack a random hero, suffers 1d6 +1 now instead of +3. So we'll grab our hero tokens. We'll give them a shuffle. And apparently it's going to be that one. Okay, it's Tielva. That's not terrible. Tielva has a dodge of 7. Come on, 7 or less. Hey, that's a 3. So it divides whatever damage is done by 2. That's 5, +1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So she goes down to 1, 2, 3, 24 health. Okay, this captain is going to get one more turn. Come on, 18. Hey, that's a 19. That's totally a 19. So he shouts a pirate curse. That's it. Next is Slash, who only has 3 health. I almost took him out. Oh, a 12. A random hero suffers 1d6 +3. Okay. Let's see who that's going to be. Give these a shuffle. And, oh no, it's Maribon. Okay, her dodge is 5. It's a 4. Okay, so the damage is divided by 2. Oh my gosh. That's a 5, so she takes 3 points of damage. 12, 11, 10, 9 health. Lastly, we have Bruno here. And Bruno does a 17. Nothing. Shouts a pirate curse. Now we remove another time token, and we're down to 4. And this says, if 2 or more heroes participate in the combat, deal the card Orc Prison to a random hero. Uh-oh. You know who's going to be stuck there, right? I mean, I don't even know why I do these. We know it's going to be Maribon, because apparently that's why I always seem to choose randomly. Let's see. Yep. Really? Really? Yep, it's definitely her. Okay. Poor Maribon. 2 orc prisoners pulled you into their prison cell and try to finish you off. Separated from your companions, you have to fight for your life. As long as this card remains in play, you cannot be targeted by opponents and cannot attack the opponents. The only exception is this card that you can attack as if it were an opponent. It has 1 shield and 10 health. Other heroes cannot attack this card. At the end of each turn that card is in play, you become a target of an attack for 2d6s. Yeah, this is gonna kill her. Oh my goodness.